So what is it that really hammers the love bombing home? Well, it's physical intimacy. It is the intimate relationship that we have with this narcissist in our life. And you will notice, and you will have noticed, that in the relationship, physical intimacy was something that was merely an act. It wasn't done with any real connection or attachment. Not from them, anyway. And this disconnect, this sort of physical disconnect during the acts of physical intimacy, objectifies you. In the end, you become an object through which they operate their desires. So the very fact that you're even having a physical relationship with them, it will necessarily, it'll feel different. It'll feel like one night stands every single time it happens. It'll feel so disconnected. It'll feel like it's just somebody you've met. And it's this lack of them during the act itself that post-relationship, once you understand narcissists and how they operate, you start to realise that because of the way narcissism works and the way narcissistic libido works, narcissistic libido is like autoerotica. It's they fancy themselves, and they live vicariously, vociferously through others. So they live through you. They're experiencing themselves via you. So in many ways they're closeted in many ways because they fancy themselves. So therefore their way of viewing themselves is one of absolute desire. You need them, and it's not the other way around. And it's this disconnect that we sort of bury away, because for most normal people the physical act of physical intimacy is something that's deeply connected to attachment and love and care, and it's there not to be played with and toyed with, and they will use it as their tool. You're sort of like a masturbatory tool, and it's as simple as that. And the bonding from the love bombing comes from that attachment that we presume is there through that physical act. And in the end, they make it very clear that it's just a physical act. They make it so clear it's just a physical act. And it's quite shocking. And the withdrawal of the act itself over time, and then sporadically, intermittently reinforcing that bond via using the act itself as a form of manipulation. None of it's got anything to do with us at all. They just wanted to get off, and they just wanted to make sure that pulled you back in again. It's as simple as that. So, I think for a lot of us, we don't really talk about this very much because it's a delicate subject. But it plays an intricate part of relationships in general. And if we've been led down the path of believing that we're being intimate with someone in a real intimate manner, yet they're not presenting that way, but in other parts of the relationship they are, but then at the same time they're devaluing us. There's so much cognitive dissonance going on because our internalized belief of them is the vision that we had in the idealization phase, in the love bombing phase. In the elation phase, that was them, this initial, my God, look at this person, and they've got all these things going on. Because the physical acts at the start are intimate. There is this giving of the whatever is there of the self, but it's a facade. It's a facade. It's more about impulses and desires, and feeling great because they have this other person now that they can use to do this with. It's such a cruel disorder. People understand that, and that makes sense. But it's one of those parts of narcissistic abuse that's rarely talked about, And understandably so, because a lot of it we feel very embarrassed about, because we can't believe that we even did these things physically with these people, because why would you post abuse? You know, find rightly they've been through a lot of people. There you go. Peace out.